Hare Krishna devotees, welcome to Shloka Day. Today's Shloka is Shloka number 72 of chapter 18. Kacchidetat shrutam partha
Kacchidetat shrutam partha
tvayaiకాగ్రేణ chetasa
tvayaiకాగ్రేణ chetasa
kacchidajnana sammohaha
kachchidajnana sammohaha
pranashtaste dhananjaya.
pranashtaste dhananjaya.
Word for word meaning, translation and purport by His Divine Grace Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Kachit,
Kachchid,
whether,
whether,
etat,
etat,
this, shrutam,
shrutam,
heard, partha,
partha,
O son of Pritha,
O son of Pritha,
tvaya,
tvaya,
by you,
by you,
ekaparena,
ekaparena,
with full attention,
with full attention,
chetasa,
chetasa,
by the mind,
by the mind,
kachit,
kachchit,
whether,
whether,
ajnana,
ajnana,
of ignorance,
of ignorance,
sammohaha,
sammohaha,
the illusion,
the illusion,
pranashtaha,
pranashtaha,
dispelled,
dispelled,
te,
of
you,
dhanam jaya,
O conqueror of wealth, Arjuna.
O conqueror of wealth, Arjuna.
Okay, so one of the mistakes that I made is it's eka agrena, with full attention.
Eka agrena, with full attention.
Yes, translation. O son of Pritha,
O son of Pritha,
O conqueror of wealth,
O conqueror of wealth,
have you heard this with an attentive mind?
have you heard this with an attentive mind?
And are your ignorance and illusions now dispelled?
And are your ignorance and illusions now dispelled?
So, Krishna is asking Arjuna if he's understood everything that has been spoken. The Lord was acting as the spiritual master of Arjuna. So this is the purport of Srila Prabhupada. Therefore, it was his duty to inquire from Arjuna whether he understood the whole Bhagavad Gita in its proper perspective. If not, the Lord was ready to re-explain any point or the whole Bhagavad Gita if so required. Actually, anyone who hears Bhagavad Gita from a bona fide spiritual master like Krishna or his representative will find that all his ignorance is dispelled. Bhagavad Gita is not an ordinary book written by a poet or a fiction writer. It is spoken by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Any person fortunate enough to hear these teachings from Krishna or from his bona fide spiritual representative is sure to become a liberated person and get out of the darkness of ignorance. So when the devotee writes, then the Lord will uphold what the devotee writes. So here, what is Prabhupada writing? Any person fortunate enough to hear these teachings from Krishna or from his bona fide spiritual representative is sure to become a liberated person and get out of the darkness of ignorance. So that is why it is so important for us to read Prabhupada's purport, hear his lectures every day, because this is the guarantee that the devotee of the Lord is giving you. So if the devotee guarantees something, then the Lord has to fulfill, correct? Shri Krishna has taken the position of being Arjuna's teacher. It is natural for the teacher to inquire whether the student has grasped the subject or not. Shri Krishna's intention of asking the question is that if Arjuna has not understood, he is ready to re-explain or go into further details. So His Grace Chaitanya Charan Prabhu writes, so the next statement we will discuss Krishna's last statement. So this is Krishna's last words, which forms part of the Bhagavad Gita. Arjuna's response and Sanjaya's concluding statement. In this section, Krishna has spoken the Charam Shloka. Sripad Ramanujacharya said 18.66 is Charam Shloka of Bhagavad Gita. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Pad has said that Bhagavad Gita is like a treasure chest, where 7 to 12 chapters are treasures, and it is covered with 2 hard layers. The initial 6 chapters, which mentioned karma to bhakti, is 1 layer, and the last 6 chapters, from jnana to bhakti, is another layer. But in order to attract people, 2 jewels are kept at the outer layer to attract people. These are 18.65 Manmana Bhavamat Bhakto and 18.66 Sarva Dharman Parityaja. Now, as a serious teacher-student discussion, Krishna is concerned, has Arjuna understood this message or not? So in 18.72, Krishna asks Arjuna, till now Arjuna was questioning and Krishna is answering. Now Krishna is questioning Arjuna. So Krishna is inquiring from Arjuna, have you heard attentively? Have you understood it clearly? So Krishna has taken Arjuna to the battlefield and converts the battlefield into a classroom, reveal the kind of knowledge which was never revealed earlier and will not be revealed again. Extraordinary knowledge he revealed and raises the consciousness of the student to such a high level. So Krishna was ready to explain the whole Bhagavad Gita again if Arjuna had not understood. That is the compassion of Krishna. So that is a sign of a great teacher to ask the student, have they understood? If not, they're ready to explain again. So how Krishna's last verse reveals his loving concern for Arjuna. In the last verse that Krishna speaks in the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna asks Arjuna 2 questions. Has he heard attentively? And has his illusion been dispelled? His first question reveals his awareness of Arjuna's cognitive condition. Before Krishna started speaking the Gita, Arjuna was so emotionally overwrought that he couldn't even hold on to his bow. Such a distraught condition would have made it difficult for Arjuna to concentrate on philosophically demanding discourse. Though Arjuna's many pertinent questions throughout the Gita indicated that he had been hearing attentively, Krishna was nonetheless concerned that Arjuna might have missed some important points. Hence Krishna's question, which is asked not in a mood of condemnation. Were you listening to me? But in a mood of consideration. Was it difficult to focus on what I was saying? Krishna's second question reveals his commitment to free Arjuna from illusion. Krishna has earlier stated that learning from spiritual teachers will free one from illusion. Since Arjuna has accepted Krishna as a spiritual master, Krishna is committed to providing the knowledge that will remove Arjuna's illusion. Though Arjuna has stated earlier that his illusion has been dispelled, Krishna is cross-checking to ensure that their subsequent discussion has deepened Arjuna's conviction, not caused any confusion. If Arjuna's answer to either question is negative, Krishna is ready to repeat any or all of his points. Such is his love for Arjuna. He wants to do everything possible to enrich his dear friend with the supreme wealth of Gita wisdom. Hence, Krishna's last word refers to Arjuna by his specific name as the winner of wealth, Dhananjaya. His implication is, just as you have won many outer battles to gain wealth, have you won the inner battle against illusion to gain the supreme wealth of timeless spiritual knowledge? So we are always fighting 2 battles. The outer battle is actually an indication of your inner battle. So if we solve the inner battle issues, then your outer battle should just vaporize. There should be nothing there. Krishna's last verse reveals his concern for Arjuna and his commitment to do whatever is necessary for enlightening Arjuna. So we'll read one more commentary. How do we understand this concept of surrender? Surrender, because Arjuna is going to say, Karishye vachanam tava, I am perfectly happy to follow your instructions. Surrender is not a rejection of the intelligence, but it's perfection. Some people perceive surrender to God as anti-intellectual, as an abandonment of the intelligence for an abject capitulation to God. However, that's not the kind of surrender the Bhagavad Gita espouses. At the Gita's start, 7th shloka of the 2nd chapter, Arjuna surrenders to Krishna, yet Krishna doesn't treat this surrender as a license for neglecting Arjuna's intellectual concerns. Far from it. Krishna throughout the Gita strives to elevate Arjuna's intelligence. He patiently and cogently answers his many questions, even when they border on the challenging. Which is, how is it that you spoke this knowledge to Vivaswan? Are you and I not the same age? And towards the Gita's end, he specifically asks Arjuna whether his illusion and ignorance have been dispelled. The Gita commentator Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakura explains the subtext of Gita's inquiry, being concerned that Arjuna understands things properly. Krishna is willing to repeat his message partially or even fully. Such proactive concern clearly demonstrates that the Supreme Teacher considers his students' intelligence important, not redundant. So Krishna is exercising so much patience while walking through and clarifying Arjuna's questions and doubts. So philosophically speaking, surrendering doesn't mean rejecting the intelligence, but integrating it. Such integration is evident in Arjuna's response, wherein he states that his doubts have been resolved and his composure restored. Being thus intellectually convinced, he is ready to do Krishna's will. A question may arise, doesn't the Gita teach that Krishna is inconceivable? And doesn't accepting Krishna's inconceivability imply rejecting our intelligence? Which means we always say that the Lord cannot be perceived, cannot be understood. If the Lord cannot be fully perceived and fully understood, that means we don't have the intelligence. So if we don't have the intelligence, then why is Krishna asking this question at all? So no, accepting Krishna's inconceivability doesn't require rejecting the intelligence, right? So there's nothing wrong in asking questions, even if it is a question that could be in a very challenging spirit. It requires intelligently recognizing that Krishna is greater than our intelligence, which, like us, is finite. So it is only intelligent for us to admit that Krishna will have features that our intelligence won't be able to figure out. Such an admission is not anti-intellectual, but it is trans-intellectual. So when Chaitanya Charan Prabhu uses the word trans-intellectual, means it goes beyond the material. It sits on the spiritual platform. Ultimately, devotional surrender catapults us to beyond intelligence reach to the summit of transcendence, eternal spiritual love for Krishna, and harmonizing our intelligence so that we can achieve life's perfection is the intelligence perfection. So essentially, in this particular shloka, the Lord is just checking with Arjuna. Whatever questions you asked, the responses that I have provided, are you satisfied? Is everything now resolved for you internally? You have an internal battle within you on whether I should fight or not. You wanted to give up. Have all of those issues and concerns been resolved? And of course, Krishna is also wanting to know if Arjuna has been paying attention. And if he had not, or if he lost his focus somewhere, Krishna was ready to speak this all over again.
If you like our videos, please subscribe to our channel and turn on the bell notification. If you'd like to join our classes every day, please check the details in the description section of this video. We look forward to serving you.